Sripada Srivallabha, Chapter 20, The Account of Visavadhani, Part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Part 1, Description of the Divine Auspicious Form of Sripada. In the early morning, I reached Kurungada to have the darshan of Sripada. Divine rays of illumination were emanating from him. Peace, compassion, love, and knowledge were issuing forth as brilliant light from the divine eyes of Sripada. Those who were in his presence were receiving peace, compassion, love, and wisdom. Even without asking for it, when the Lord of all the universes, who is formless, assumed form and appeared in the human form before my very eyes, ineffable joy and astonishment flooded my entire nature. Sripada kindly beckoned me to approach him and give salutations to him. When he beckoned me, inexplicable waves of peace and love rose from his divine hands, and I experienced as though they transported my mind, heart, and body to some other unknown worlds. I touched his auspicious feet with devotion. My body felt lighter. I noticed that a dark aura emanated from my eyes. After some time, black luster came out from all the organs in my body. This black luster assumed an ugly human form. This form exactly resembled me. Sripada smilingly asked me, "Have you noticed who that black form is, which very much looks like you?" I replied, "Swami, I noticed that the form resembles me, but I do not know why it came out of my body. I also do not know who that form is." Then Sripada said, "My dear, that black shape is your sinful body. He is your sinful personality. Whatever remained in your body now is the pure personality. In every human body, a sinful personality and also pure personality exist. Liberation is the release from both sin and merit. One who takes birth as a Brahmin must be righteous and must burn down his sinful body. Not only that, with the strength of his merit, he must uplift others." A Brahmin should mainly possess the attribute of sattva. He should carry out rituals for the benefit of others as prescribed by the Vedas and the scriptures, and should collect from them only that much money which is necessary for his living. By receiving that money, he also takes on their sins automatically. He should burn those sins in the fire of his intense penance. Only such a Brahmin who lives like that is worthy of the word Brahmin. If this is not the case, then he is a Brahmin only on account of his caste. He cannot become a Brahmin endowed with Brahmajanana. People like my maternal grandfather Sri Bhavnare and my father Apple Raja Sharma can be called noble Brahmins. My maternal grandmother Rajamba and my mother Sumati Maharani are very pious. By merely remembering such people, thousands of sins in the bodies of the living creatures will disappear immediately. Speaking these words, Sripada became silent for a while. He touched the center of his eyebrows and stretched his right hand. A brilliant illumination rose from the palm of his hand. Sacred materials required for the fire ritual materialized at once. Gold, silver, some sweet fruits and flowers originated afterwards. Then the holy fire arose. The sinful person who came out of my body cried with great fight with his eye movement. Sripada commanded the sinful person to fall into the divine fire and get reduced into ashes. The person fell into the fire rather unwillingly. Flames spread all over my body. I cried, "Swami, I am being burned. Save me, save me." A wave of light from the divine eyes of Sripada touched me. My body became cool. The fire of the fire ritual burned the sinner. A variety of electric currents arose in my body. I was aware of the awakening of my Kundalini. My pulse stopped. My heartbeat halted. I slipped into a state of trance. It was afternoon. It was Thursday. Sripada took a bath and afterwards he was surrounded by the devotees. Sripada touched with his hand the food offered by the devotees as bhiksha. He sprinkled the water from his kamandu on the devotees. Some food was placed along the 8 directions as a sacrificial offerings. With the musical voice of millions of cuckoos, he called me by name. He ordered all the people present there to take meals. He instructed me to come nearer to him. He closed his eyes for a second. Later he opened his eyes again and cast his looks on me. A silver vessel appeared in his hand. It was filled the North Indian dish called halwa. Sripada liked this halwa dish. Sripada said, Shankar, but my devotees tie me with their bonds of devotion. I am only bound by pure care and devotion. In the house of Sri Shrishti, his wife Venkata Subramma prepared this sweet for me and took a vow that she would take meals only after I eat this feast. Their granddaughter Lakshmi Vasavi tied Raksha Bandha to my hand. She said that the astrologers predicted that death was indicated in the horoscope of her husband. She observed a diksha that her husband should live long. She insisted that if it was true that she tied Raksha Bandha to me, I should take the prasad and bless her as a Sumangali. There was no other choice for me. I blessed Chiranjeevi Lakshmi Vasavi as Lakshmi Sobhagyavati and granted her flowers, bangles and kumkum. I brought along the halwa prepared with love by Venkata Subramma, whom I regard as my maternal grandmother. This prasad will destroy great sins earned over many births. I will personally receive the prasad offered in the houses of my devotees through subtle rays. However, as this was cooked in the house of Sri Shashti, it is Mahaprasad and therefore I physically received it in person. You also take this prasad. I took the prasad. Who can describe the sweetness of that prasad? He threw some portion of the prasad into the sky. It went somewhere in the sky. He let some prasad slip from his palm. Then the earth there broke and gave way to the prasad. After the prasad went into the earth, the broken earth came back to the normal state. The devotees who were present there also desired to have that prasad. The incarnation of Sripada will never disappoint anyone. Though the prasad was distributed to many, it was inexhaustible. In the meantime, a devotee by the time of Guru Charan, born in the Padmashal caste, came there. Sripada gave the prasad to him also. Then he threw that silver vessel into the Krishna river. Sripada observed Padmaslis belong to the lineage of Markandeya. For some reason, they become non-vegetarians. No action takes place without a reason in my presence. Guru Charana, you have been offering me Naivedya from many days. You are leading a pious life, seeking refuge at the lotus feet of Sri Guru. Today you could receive the Mahaprasad from the hands of Sri Guru. Explain to Shankar Bhatt about Guru Tattva as far as you know. In the afternoon, I will be in a yogic sleep and will travel to the subtle using the mind. No one should visit me during this time. My rest should not be disturbed. It was indeed the will of Sri Guru that I should meet a great devotee named Sri Guru Charan. Sri Guru Charan made good progress in the path of yoga. I requested him to explain the nature of Sripada and make me gratified. Then Guru Charan began to expatiate the formless, attributeless phenomenon whose great result in the creation, sustenance and liquidation of countless millions of universes incarnate in the ancient yugas, as Sri Dattatreya taking to a form and taking on attributes. The phenomenon has incarnated in this yuga at present in the form of Sripada Srivallabha. This incarnation is formless but appears in a human form, attributes but appears as the one with attributes, a comprehensive form of all deities. Deity is the ultimate destination for all paths of yoga. All forms of deities who appeared in the sages through their individual practices and penances from the beginning of the creation, or really the divine manifestation of Sripada. In ancient times, sages had many divine powers. Vasishtha used to perform rituals with Habya. Vishwamitra and Jamadagni used to follow the procedure of performing rituals without Habya. Only the one who knows the secret of the mantras and the secret of the ritual is capable of doing the ritual or not doing it, or doing it in a different way. Sripada is omnipotent. Since he knows the secret of karma, differences will be seen in his treatment of different individuals. The power of love is superior to all other powers. Its strength is infinite. Bhavnare or Narsimha Varma or Panda Venkatapaya Srishti are endowed with peculiar yogic wealth. All the three had adequate and affectionate devotion towards Sripada. With the power of their love, they can compel Sripada to fructify any particular work. Sripada also has to yield to their wishes. Sripada has a natural trait of seeing his mother in every woman. If anyone with a natural affection treats Sripada as a divine child and worships him, Sripada will behave like a small child in their houses. This is the Mahamaya. It is a matter that defies logic that the attributes and formulas Parabrahman, who is repeatedly extolled as such by the yogis and wise man, should display his divine sports as a divine child in Pitikapuram. For those who practice with the idea that God can only be obtained through the study of the Vedas and scriptures, through the paths of yogas and jnana, God can be experienced by them only through those paths. The experience of God is systematized through the scriptures. However, the experience of God can also be had through a route beyond the path of the scriptures. God is fully independent in all respects. The sportive plays of Sripada are not amenable for logic, they are unheard of before. Then I requested Sri Guru Charan, Sir, how did you first get the darshan of Sripada? Kindly give an account of it and make me blessed. On that Guru Charan said, O pious Brahmin, you are very torturing on account of the merits earned in my previous births. I had the fortune of narrating to you divine pastimes of Sripada in his very presence. You have the grace and compassion of Sri Guru. Having said that, he briefly explained the way in which he had the first darshan of Sripada. I was born in a family of devotees. Lord Datta is our family deity and I was worshipping him from my childhood. There were lots of financial worries in my family. However much I prayed Lord Datta, my troubles did not diminish. On the other hand, they got worse. Some elders advised me that I did not have the grace of Lord Datta and that I should select another deity as a family deity and worship the deity upon which my difficulties might be resolved. I also was contemplating as to which deity should be selected as my family deity so that my troubles would cease. With that thought, I slipped into sleep one day. In a dream, I saw a dreadful Bhatkar. He was tending a herd of sheep with great love. He was shearing some sheep every day with his Bhatkar's knife. The knife in his hand evoked great fear in me. With a profound sound of rumbling clouds, he thundered, I am Datta. Whatever gods or goddesses you worship, all those belong to me only. When you simply change the names and shapes of the deity you worship, I will not change. More than that, I will not leave you. You are my shadow. How can my shadow leave me and exist separately? I am the great resolve that administration the will of all deities and humans. I am the Brahmin from which all incarnations of the god emanate. An animal caught in the mouth of a tiger may escape. But you who were caught in my hand cannot escape. Devotees of Datta should be like young lions and not be like cowards. I am like a lion. Young ones of the lion cannot have any fear of the lion. They will amuse their mother with their sports and capers. It is certain that I will kill you with this knife. There is no one in all the three worlds who can save you. I was crying madly with terrible fright. By this time, my dream-shattered inmates of my house asked me about the matter. I told them about my dream. I wailed that I was undergoing penury as a result of some past debts in some birth. Our financial difficulties get worse. I felt that it would be better if I die. Next morning, a Haridas appeared before my house. There were wooden gambles in his hands. He was singing the name of Hari. He kept on his head a vessel for storing rice. He was a strange Haridas. He kept a small piece of adambara tree in the vessel. It is considered as a bad omen if rice is not offered to Haridas standing in front of the house. Therefore, I searched in the house for rice and offered the Haridas a fistful of broken rice found in my house after much search. The Haridas received the fistful of broken rice and said, Sir, last night a Bhatkar murdered one Gurucharan, a devotee of Datta. However, the wonder is that the life force of that man left his body and settled in this Adambara plant. It is standard saying that Sri Dattatreya resides at the foot of the Adambara tree. The plant is not an ordinary one. There is a great kshetra named Sri Vitikapuram in the Godavari region. It is said that the self-extant Datta moves in that town in the guise of Sripada Srivallabha. This plant belongs to the offspring of the Adambara tree in the house of the maternal grandfather of Sripada Srivallabha. Plant this in your house and derive all auspicious things. On hearing this, my head sealed. I told the Haridas, sir, I am that Gurucharan. I was not murdered. I am Datta devotee. I saw a Bhatkar in my dream. He warned me that he would kill me with his knife. I heard that when a person dies and his body is not available, sticks of an Adambara tree are arranged like a corpse and funeral rites are performed considering the sticks to be the corpse of the dead person. But it is unheard of and unseen at any place that the life forces of a person are attracted into an Adambara tree and at the same time the life forces are retained in the person. Part 2. The greatness of Adambara tree. Then the Haridas loudly laughed and said, "It is true what you say. I don't deny it. The entire mystery of the creation is known only to the Adiguru Lord Dattatreya. Even the 7 rishis cannot understand what he proposes to do in the next moment. Such being the case, what are you? What am I? You are thinking that bodily death of a man is the only death. When the period of death approaches, a Sadguru may subject his disciple to terrible mental agony, horrible dishonors, unbearable troubles and losses and erase accumulated karma and grant him rebirth. An incarnation may subject his dependent to slight trouble and grant him rebirth. However, Sri Dattatreya attracts the life force of his dependents to the Adambara tree, where he always lives and rescues the body of the dependent with the life force released from the Adambara tree. He was also circumambulating the Adambara tree in our house and worshipping Lord Datta with great devotion. Whenever any difficulties arose in our house, we used to solemnly go around the Adambara tree and present our troubles to that great tree. Our suffering was reaching Lord Datta. Our troubles were getting solved in anticipated ways. The Adambara tree was acting like a bridge of friendship between us and Sri Dattatreya. Sir, worship of the Adambara tree is a very important duty of Datta devotees. If an Adambara tree is in the house, it is as though Sri Dattatreya is verily in that house. However much the efficacy of the Adambara tree is described, it amounts to an understatement only. The ignorant dependent thinks that he is alive from the life force in his body. But the fact is that the life force emanating from the Adambara tree is conducting the bodily functions of the devotee uninterruptedly. The moment the period of death elapses, the life force issuing forth from the Adambara tree firmly establishes in the devotee, and the devotee will live for some more time. The Adambara tree will remain perfect however much the life force may be released from it. The reason for that is Sri Dattatreya remains well established at the base of every Adambara tree in a subtle form. All that the Haridas told was strange to me. The Haridas, whose name was Krishnadas, went his own way. I planted the Adambara plant in the backyard of our house and started taking care of the growth of the Adambara plant. With great love and devotion, a distant relative of mine was trading silk cloths. He became old and he had no children. He had motiveless love for me. He began to stay in our house. He gave some money to me and advised me to carry on the business of silk cloths. Part 3. Birth as a thorny tree as a result of sinful acts. While going to Odisha state for business purpose, I fortunately reached Pitikapuram and found the house of Sri Bapnare. At that time, Sripada was in the backyard along with Sri Bapnare. There was a thorny tree in their backyard. Sripada was carefully watering the tree. Bapnare said to Sripada, "My dear, is it proper to take so much care of that thorny tree which is dear to you as if it is the Somlata or Sanjeevani plant? It will grow whether you care for it Then Sripada remarked, "Grandfather, this thorny tree is Visavadhani, who in this previous birth was in our street and ridiculed, saying, 'Oh, the self-manifested Datta is born as the grandson of Bhavnavadini. What a freak it is! What a great offense against God!' When my mother, my brothers and sisters, and I dined in the houses of Penda Venkatapaya Shrishti and Narasimha Verma, this Visavadini kicked up a controversy in the council of Brahmins that the Maladi and Gandhikota families were depraved and violated the Dharma, and that the two families should be ostracized from the Brahmin community. This sonetry is none other than that Vishavadhani is Sripada Dattatreya. What is the proof for it? Is it in the scriptures? Is it in the Vedas? Vishavadhani, who advanced such means arguments. In this sonetry now, Penda Venkatapaya Shrishti and Narasimha Verma regarded my divine mother Sarvamangala Swarupini Sumati Maharani as the daughter of their household and offered her meals and respected her by giving new clothes to her. By such reverential treatment to my mother, they used to feel that their lives were blessed. Vishavadhani was abusing those who two people every day. This sonetry is that Vishavadhani, due to the omission of obsequies after his death and on account of his heavy load of sins, Vishavadhani is now born as a thorny tree, quite appropriate to his nature. On seeing the old Vishavadhani as a thorny tree, I took pity on him and am giving water to this tree. Sripada thus concluded. After a short while, they came into the street from the backyard. On seeing the bewitching, charming Sripada, I broke into hiccoughs and overwhelming delight. Tears of joy flowed like floods from my eyes. I fell on the divine lotus feet of Sripada. Sripada touched me on the back with love and said, "My dear, get up. What are these mad acts? You died, got back to life and came to me, knowing that I do business in silk cloths." Sri Bapnare asked me, "Do you have any silk dresses suitable for our golden lad?" I gave a silk dress suitable for Sripada. Sripada took me inside Sri Bapnare's house and told me, "Guru Charana, I will show you a wonder." Sri Bapnare also followed Sripada. Sripada took us to the thorny tree and questioned, "Grand old Visavadhani, you got this sort of despicable birth because your children performed obsequies without care and because you have abused great people like Bapnare for no reason. This Guru Charan was your son in your previous birth. I will make him perform your obsequial ceremony. Do you agree?" We were nonplussed. That Vishavadhani, who has a ghostly spirit, entered the thorny tree, replied clearly that there was no greater fortune than that. Sripada made me uproot the thorny tree completely. He instructed me to generate fire with two Adambara twigs in his hand. I took them from him and generated fire by friction of those two small sticks. I burnt the thorny tree. Sripada directed me to take a bath. After I finished the bath, Sripada gave me vibhuti and asked me to apply it on my body and said people think that Shiva rubs on his body the ash from the burial ground. Shiva applies on his body the ash obtained from the funeral of great persons, Siddhas, Maha Yogis and great devotees after they die. They remain united in the circle of the aura surrounding his body. When animals such as monkey, a snake or a cow die due to our inadventurous, we must perform obsequial rites to them. It is enough if we conduct their funeral and give food to the hungry. There is no need to conduct any ritual with mantras. Those creatures who had some bond of indebtedness to us in some birth die like that in our hands, inadvertently. By burning their dead bodies with care, our residual karma will be destroyed. They will attain a noble position in an ancient age. At one time, the world was facing difficulties with famine and scarcity. Unless there is an increase in the stock of cows, sacred materials like cow's ghee could not be produced. In the absence of yagna and other sacrifices, mutual cooperation arranged by the master of the universe between humans and celestials would go to waste. Dharma would get weakened, humans could not live unless there was sufficiency of food. Therefore, sage Gautama grew crops in his hermitage by the strength of his penance. He manifested the Godavari river to redeem his seed, which was accrued on account of killing a phantom cow. Therefore, the world is very much indebted to sage Gautama. Ahalya, the wife of sage Gautama, was a great devoted wife. This Visavadhani was born in the lineage of sage Gautama. The only connection between sage Gautama and Visavadhani is that the latter's birth was in that lineage. Even though this is a very small bond of indebtedness, this event happened to the following reason. In Treta Yuga, sage Gautama also participated in the Savitri Kataka sacrifice that was conducted in this Pitikapuram. Visavadhani was born luckily in Pitikapuram, and not only that, he had my darshan, which is very difficult to get. The time has come when it should be known to the world that this Datta can grant nobler status with causeless compassion even to an unworthy person. Unless there is bond of indebtedness with you, even a dog will not approach you. So if anyone approaches you for help him if you can. If it is not possible, explain to him about your inability to use polite words. But don't display unkind temperament. If you show merciless treatment, I, who is the inhaler of all beings, will also be merciless towards you. It is a fact that I alone am the root cause for all this. That fact is as much true as you. This world and the entire creation are true. I am the supreme truth, truth for all truths. In the Vedas also it is said that truth, knowledge and infinity are the supreme Brahman. Sripada elucidated with these details in the above manner. I was looking with astonishment. Tears of joy were trickling down on the cheeks of Bapnar. Sripada wiped the tears from the cheeks of his grandfather with his teeny hands and said, "Grandfather, in recent times you have been continuously contemplating about me. Your birth is fulfilled. I will take the incarnation of Narasimha Saraswati exactly in your form." This is true. Saying so, he placed his hand in the hand of Bapnare. Then Bapnare expressed a doubt. "Sripada, I have a doubt in my mind from many days. Shall I ask immediately?" Sripada with smile said, "Grandfather, can there be a doubt to a person of your stature? Can a lad of 10 years clear it? What a wonder! Even then I will try." Ask. Sri Bapnare asked, "Are creation, sustenance and liquidation done by Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara respectively?" Sri Bapnare asked, "Saraswati, Lakshmi and Parvati are the respective forms of the strength of them, is it not?" Sri Pada responded, "Yes." Sri Bapnare asked, "Adi Parashakti has created the Trinity and the Shakti forms, is it not?" Sri Pada responded, "Yes." Then Sri Bapnare questioned Sri Pada, "Then who are you?" Part 4. All the sins of those who adore Sripada are removed. Me and conduct a brief worship of our family deity Kalagni Shamana. I dedicate the great result derived from that worship to my devotees. It is not possible to give any result with it is useless to teach Sanskrit grammar to a beast. If an animal wants to learn Sanskrit grammar, it should be liberated from that lower birth. It should be born as a human being and learn it from a competent person. Since I have an internal connection with every creature, I receive the tendencies, propensities and impurities from them. Daily through a holy bath and japa, I burn those impurities and help towards the development of the living beings. In fact, there is no necessity for me to worship. I attract into me many evil influences of those who adore outdoing karma. Therefore, I perform penance and other great pious rites with this body. Since I am the results of my devotees, I get instantaneous results for the rites performed, so I transmit those results to my devotees according to their eligibility. That is why mine is the form of Adi Guru, just as a child is initial to the properties of his parents. The disciples of a preceptor become heirs to the powers of penance of their Guru. In Bhagavad Gita also was mentioned that performance of action is inescapable. Part 5. There is no end to my incarnation. I, Sri Datta, am easily accessible to other deities' grand boons after being satisfied with the penance performed by the devotees. However, Datta, an embodiment of the Guru form phenomenon, is a compassionate one who by his strength of penance removes all evil forces and forces of misfortune that stand in the way of his devotees obtaining boons. Grandfather, that is the reason for calling me Smruti Matra Prasanna. I am the one who is in the form of all gurus. As the incarnation took place out of great compassion as Param Guru, there is no end to this incarnation. As soon as I receive the call of the devotee, I will respond at once. I am waiting for all the call from my devotees. If a devotee moves one step towards me, I will take 100 steps towards him. My natural trait is to protect my devotees like an eyelid protects the eyes and to guard them against all accidents and troubles. Sripada thus imparted these divine preachings to Sri Bapnare. Then I requested that great preceptor, great Lord, I heard something about Somulata and Somayaga. Kindly tell me the details about them. Then Sripada said that Somulata is also called Sanjeevani herb and asked me whether I wanted to see it. When I said yes, the Sanjeevani herb appeared in his hand. He presented it to me. That is in my puja mandir securely even today as his divine prasad. Sripada continued, these Sanjeevani herbs are available in the Himalaya mountain ranges at Manasarovar in Kashmir. At the birthplace of the Sindh river at Sri Shaila mountain, the eternal abode of Lord Mallikarjun at Sahyadri, at Mahendra Devgiri, at the Vindhya mountain range and at the Badri forest areas. Lakshmana recovered from coma only through the efficacy of this herb. By rubbing it on his body, one can achieve the faculty of air travel. It greatly helps in toning up muscles, enhancing the luster of the eyes and the hearing faculty. Freedom comes from many diseases by using it. From its efficiency, any sort of fear or suffering from fire, water or poison will not affect it. It also gives eight siddhis like anima, etc. This Sanjeevani plant will start sprouting one leaf per day beginning from the different first day of Shukla Paksha. On the full moon day, it will have 15 leaves. Again from the commencement of the next fortnight, Krishna Paksha, every day one leaf falls off and on the new moon day, the plant dries up with all the leaves have fallen off. When this small dried stick is wetted with water and kept in a room during the night, it will emit light. Wild animals stand guard to the Sanjeevani herb in this Sahyadri mountain range and at Bhima Shankara mountains. It can be recognized during the midnight of the new moon day when it shines in heavenly illumination. My dear Guru Charana, like this, there are about 24 varieties of divine herbal plants. All of them are very sacred. Divine forces reside in these plants. Therefore, these herbs are to be collected with utmost humility while chanting Vedic mantras. The names of these herbal plants are Soma, Mahasoma, Chandrama, Ansuma, Manjuvan, Rajata Prabhu, Dhruva, Kanyan, Sweetan, Kanakaprabha, Pratnavan, Lal Vritta, Karadira, Anaswan, Swayam Prabha, Rudraksha, Gayatri, Yashtam, Pavata, Jagat, Shakara, Anishtam, Rekta, Sripada, Gayatri. Part 6. I took leave from Sripada and left Pitikapuram. After Guru Charan finished narrating this to me, permission for the darshan of Sri Mahaguru was given and we were informed that the yogic mental travel of Sri Mahaguru was completed. We had seen darshan. We received fruits and prasad from the divine hands of Sripada. Then Sripada said, both of you cross the Krishna river and go to the other side. Go to the Manchala village. The village goddess of Manchala will bless you. After obtaining the blessing of that mother, return to Kurungada. Note that I will be held, always observing you wherever you are and at whatever distance you are. In the future, Manchala village will become famous worldwide. It becomes famous on account of the lives samadhi of a great person. The sporty place of that great person will be wonderful. There is a Pitikapuram in the subtle view just as there is a Pitikapuram in the gross view. The subtle view is the golden Pitikapuram that is well established in the circle of the Orat involving my physical body. Anyone who obtaining my grace, irrespective of the epoch, country, or time to which they belong, will have their consciousness well established in that golden Pitikapuram. This can be understood by all those who have a yogic vision. Those who earn a place for their live consciousness in golden Pitikapuram are really fortunate. I will follow them in each and every birth and will save them. My dear Shankar Bhatt, a great samsthan in my name will be formed after many hundreds of years. My padukas will be established under the shade of the Adamra tree at my birthplace in the house of my maternal grandfather. The ideas of mine, the preceding incarnation and the next incarnation will also be established. I am imparting with you supernatural sight look. Saying so, he touched Guru Charan and me at the center of our eyebrows. We saw that beautiful scene and felt gratified. His well is super. His supporting pastimes are strange. When we started our journey, is it a person of the essential traits of Vashishta will come as a priest for my samsthan. Victory unto Sripada Srivallabha.